Everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 4, Negan Kills Again. So warning, this will contain predictions and spoilers. We will talk about what's already happened, what might happen, and what could still happen. So prediction and spoilers is not your thing. You're in the wrong place. But if you like a good forum, a good group, a lot of chat, a lot of debate, you found 99 Gaming. And we will use some images and some stills and talk about this week's episode. This is going to be a 90-minute episode, and it is the service. So Negan will come knocking. And the one thing I noticed with some of these pictures is the fear is very real. This scene between Spencer and Rosita happens early on, and I think this is where Rosita is trying to articulate to Spencer exactly how gruesome the events were. If you weren't there, you can't really understand it. And then there's a little bit of animosity that's boiling over between Rosita and Eugene, so I guess he hasn't been participating a whole lot. He says he's going to fix this music device and give it to Negan, and shortly after this conversation, they're getting ready to drive off. She wants him to open the gate. Negan comes knocking, little pig, let me in. So at that point, the whole scene transitions. You can start to see the fear on their face. This reminds me a little bit of back when they were in the lineup, when there was just this shock value. They haven't seen Negan since then, but they are definitely wearing their emotions here. At this point, it actually hits Eugene. He probably should have been out looking for some supplies. I don't know how the Savior is going to react to a music device. The next scene, we see Rosita, and Rosita, once again, that whole shock value, her emotions just completely drained once he starts knocking, and she actually is confronted with Negan once again. Spencer, a little bit emotionless at this point, but I think he's going to get it very, very soon. So Michonne had a real interesting scene at the end of last week where she actually went into Rick's house, her and Rick's house, got the sniper rifle out of the fireplace that she had hidden, and here we can see Michonne actually pinging something off. We don't know if she's shooting walkers, we don't know if she's shooting saviors, or she could be out just doing some hunting to try to get some supplies to give to Negan. Very, very vague at this point, so I'm interested to see this. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. The sneak peek, if you watched in slow motion, we did find Daryl. Look right over Negan's shoulder. There's Daryl blended in the background. It's a big relief to a lot of fans, but we kind of knew that Negan and Dwight were going to bring Daryl here and use him as an example. They're going to parade him around. We also see him in this image. Now, I'm not sure if this is when they first arrived or this is after Rick's made some of his rounds, because we're going to talk about this image because there's a look that could signify that something dangerous just happened. You can see Rick look over at the gate. Dwight is still there with Daryl, but let's get back to that in 1 second because that's going to be a topic of discussion. The exchange of power. So Negan arrives, and then Rick gives the speech. So we know this happens after Negan arrives. This happens in the church because Negan gives him the bat and makes him go door to door, assembles everybody together and says, I'm not in charge anymore, Negan is, and then they put this up as some kind of monument over there. So every time Negan arrives, Rick's going to have to hold this and walk around as a reminder. So we do know the time frame with that. That did happen a little bit later. So let's go back to this image once again. We have Dwight, Daryl, Negan. So I think this is a little bit after they arrive. We can speculate this. This is either a whole group of saviors coming in, or something just happened, someone got captured, but they're looking back toward the gate. So let me know your thoughts. What could have triggered that worried look on Rick's face and that look back toward the gate? Option number one, perhaps Michonne. We know she was out doing a little bit of sniping. We saw her with the gun. Could she have picked off a couple saviors? And maybe Negan is going to make an example out of her in front of the entire group in Alexandria. We see the look on Rick's face. We've seen that look before. So either something happened with someone in Alexandria, or this is where he actually shows him the bat. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on that. The only way to make it real to the people in Alexandria might be to execute someone or Lucille someone right there in front of the entire group. We know this scene here, this probably happens a little bit later, but the way they're looking down, and Spencer does say we should have made a deal with them, we had a chance, but once again, that worried look on Rick's face has me very worried that perhaps someone was sacrificed, and it's a 90-minute episode, so we're just going to have to wait and see with that. Rosita goes rogue. This happens a little bit later on. The interesting part with this scene is she's out in the woods away from Alexandria, but the hat is gone, so she's intentionally wearing a little bit different outfit. Looks like she's doing a little bit of recon work. And then also the previous scene we saw with Michonne. I think it makes a little bit more sense that Michonne is out with Rosita, and the look on her face, they discovered something. They happened upon something. Could she have possibly... That's the look I'd have on my face if I saw a tiger out in the middle of the woods, especially during a zombie apocalypse. But maybe they stumbled upon something, and we'll see this at the end to transition that partnership between Alexandria and the kingdom. So let's get back to this week's, really the theme is the example for Alexandria. Could we potentially lose someone? So there are several people we know are filming this week. Father Gabriel will be there. Judith would be there. The look on Rick's face could suggest that maybe Negan discovered that he actually has a daughter. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments on that. We're going to see Olivia. So Negan is going to get a little lemonade time with Olivia. How long will she be in the episode? Could she be a pawn to be sacrificed in this episode? Probably not that soon. But Tobin is a popular internet example as well. Tobin's storyline, we're getting to the end of it, so perhaps Negan will make an example out of Tobin's. And with all the talk of saviors and potential death, It's about time that we get our own Savior. So I'm looking forward to Jesus being in this episode. I think it's going to start to rebuild the morale a little bit. We see a little bit of recon perhaps between Michonne with Rosita. Jesus is going to get out and do a little bit of work, and I think that's going to set the base for the group to really come back together. Rick is broken. He has no motivation, but it's going to take all of these lieutenants to really build that momentum back up to get them to a striking point, and maybe a partnership with Ezekiel as well. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Would love to hear your speculation, your debate, your comments as we move into episode 4. It's going to be 90 minutes, and it is going to be awesome. Thanks for watching. My name's Killshot. Peace.